Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to vermontitude.com, reformer.com, brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Today we are talking with Richard Foye, who is a part of a 33-year-old tradition called the Rock River Artists Open Studio and the tour that will happen this year in July. Richard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about this. So 33 years, the Rock River Artists have been doing their thing. Tell us what that thing is.
We open our studios. All of us have a studio in town, or we have access to a studio in town. And what we're doing is letting people come right in, see where we do the work, how we do it. I, for instance, run my raku kiln during the day so people can see how I fire the pottery that I make. And I pull the pieces out while they're red hot, stick them into a second chamber and smoke them. And some people find that exciting and other people go away coughing, but then they can go look at my display. And other people are doing, I don't ever get a chance to go to anybody's studio because it's pretty busy, but other people are doing work in their studios, and it's opened up. So it's a nice thing for people to drive around. Everybody's within a 5-mile radius.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, so 33 years ago, this thing starts. Who are the founders? I know you've been involved the entire time, but you said you're not a founder, but you feel like you should be. But tell us a little bit about the founders and those folks.
I actually didn't want to do it in the beginning because I didn't want to have to clean up my studio in my backyard. But
That's fair.
I was dragged in. Chris Trevert and Carol Ross had moved up from Boston, and they probably saw the open studios that people were doing in Cambridge at the time. I remember going to one maybe back in the late 70s. So most of those studios were located within one single building there. So their idea was to get all the local talent around here. And probably the first people they roped in to help them get the idea going was Roger Sanders and his wife, Mary Welsh. So I would call those 4 people the founders. And they really made it happen those first couple of years. I think that we had 12 or 13 people involved. Some of them being Dan DeWalt, woodworker, Breeze Verdant, who does marquetry, and I don't need to go through the whole list, but we have a website, rockriverartist.com, where you can look at everyone's work presently and see who's in the tour this year. And we've got 3 new members who I think the work's going to be very exciting. Kimberly McCormick does lino cut, which is like an etching, but it's done in linoleum and it's inked and run through a press. Brittany Bills Coleman does very delicate paintings, and GR Studio paints in acrylic and maybe oils as well. I haven't actually been to her studio.
Okay. So this event will take place July 19th and 20th. It's Saturday and a Sunday. It runs from 11 to 5 each day, and you rent out a space for everybody to gather in.
Yes, we have. Traditionally, we did it in the little schoolhouse in the center of South Newfane, which is one of those places with a stop-optional sign, and that's about it for the town center. We don't have a store anymore, but this building goes back to the probably late 1700s, early 1800s. Last year, we didn't have enough people to really have it make sense to use the schoolhouse, so we did it at O'Lally Daylily Gardens Garden House, and that worked out quite well. But we have 3 new members this year and decided to expand back to using the original schoolhouse. but we will still use the O'Lally Daylily Center too. So either of those places are a good place to start. They'll both have maps. We have a drawing with people having put a few pieces in as prizes for the drawing. And you can buy a ticket for that, and that will be at the schoolhouse. And everyone will have a sample of their work at O'Lally Daylily Gardens. So if you're not familiar with people, you can see what their work looks like and make a decision on who you might want to visit.
Okay, but it's possible to visit all these locations over the course of the weekend, I would assume.
Yes, it is, and you don't have to start anywhere in particular. You can, if you know someone whose work you like, you can go straight to their place. There might be someone who was doing it last year or 2 years ago who's not doing it now, so it would be worthwhile looking at the website to see who is actually on the list, and you can see a map on the website as well as picking up a paper copy of the map at any of the locations.
Okay, again, that website, if you were interested in taking a look at it in advance, is rockriverartists.com. We're joined by Richard Foye, who has been involved with this for the 33 years that this thing has been in existence. What does it mean for folks to kind of be one of the, I guess, one of the participants in this Arts Open Studio Tour?
Well, I guess for me to admit it, I continued to do it because I actually had very good sales.
Okay, so that's fair.
I've made my living this way since graduating from college. So I don't think I'm employable otherwise. So I have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it also gives me a lot of self-satisfaction and some sense of who I am. But I love having people come through, and I'm doing my demonstration there as I've done at craft shows for over 55 years now. And it's seeing the people who are buying my pieces gives me a lot of gratification. I would say other people like the exposure, and some people might be a little shy, but I was very shy when I was younger. I had to get over this. And the way I did it is I began taking my kiln to those craft shows, because when I'm doing work right there, I'm totally comfortable, and people ask me questions. What am I doing? What's that? That's an old tub from a washing machine. Really? And that's your kiln? That's my kiln. And otherwise, they'd be sitting in the corner scowling. So yeah. I don't want to be that kind of person when they come in and look at things.
So, all right. So again, the event is the July 19th and 20th. So you've got some time to put it in your calendars, Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 5. More information can be found at rockriverartists.com. And the 129 Auger Hill Road in South Newfane is the address that they're giving for O'Lally Daylily Gardens.
Yes, I should correct. That's Auger Hole Road. And it is spelt two different ways. You might find it spelt Auger, A-U-G-U-R, which means someone that looks into the future, or A-U-G-E-R, something you use to drill a hole with. There are many explanations as to where that name came from. I was told long ago that a sawdust pile, which was down the road from 100 years ago, had a huge hole in it burned out by spontaneous combustion. That was called an auger hole. And people would actually look in there like they look at tea leaves in the bottom of a cup. I like that explanation. Other people said it's because the road twists this way and that way. And I have been repeating the business of the auger, that you look into the hole, until maybe last year, walking through the cemetery on the Auger Hole Road, I saw a headstone that said auger on it. So the explanation may reside there as well. Anyway,
I like your story.
You need to use the ER ending if you put it into your GPS, which won't work out there anyway.
Yeah. So there's that. All right. Well, Richard, anything we're leaving out that you'd want the folks to know about?
I would say it might be, if you've been to us before, check out these 3 new members. I find their work quite exciting, all 3 of them. And it's nice to have some younger talent coming in. If you've been through it before, I know I'm close to the beginning. You don't need to come to my place in the beginning because I'm always there anyway. Check out those 3 new members. Check out McCooey Bowles' work up in Marlboro, which is a little bit out of the way. Matt Tell's back with us again. I mean, if you can, go to everybody's studio. But if you don't have time, look at those new members because they're doing exciting work. And I keep thinking, it's too much work, but I should be retired, or a lot of my friends are below ground, but I'm looking forward to it anyway.
All right.
I hope to see you there if you've been before.
Very good. All right. Once again, the Rock River Artists Open Studio Tour 2025, July 19th and 20th from 11 to 5. More information can be found at rockriverartist.com. Richard, thank you for coming in and giving us a little knowledge about this super cool event.
My pleasure.